Hi and welcome back. I thought I'd talk about moisturisers. Should you be using one? Shouldn't you be using one? For years and years and years we were told that all you needed from skincare was to cleanse, tone and moisturise. But is this actually the case? Are moisturisers, traditional little pots of cream that we slather our faces in, that important in the process of obtaining healthy skin? If you've been following me for ages, you'll know that I'm not a fan of moisturisers. I come from I've been nagged at by dermatologists over the years, and generally modern formulations go this way, which is serums. Loaded with serums, loaded with hydrating humectants that lock water into the skin, rather than layering a heavy oil-based product over the top that stops water from escaping. You can do both, of course, but then suddenly some moisturiser serum hybrids have come along that I'm suddenly rethinking, oh, maybe it's time to rethink moisturisers. So I'm going to go through some that I've seen that I love, and others that will fall into your regime if you suddenly have a skincare emergency. And by that I'll mean a retinol peel, or you're flying, or you've been unwell, you've maybe come back from a skiing holiday, sometimes when your skin just needs that extra boost. So let's start with a classic, all-time great moisturiser. I've talked about this so many times. This is CERAVE Moisturising Lotion. Now, this is everything a moisturiser should be. It is cheap, effective, efficient, loaded with everything that your skin needs, both humectants and hydrators, and emollients and occlusives. Now, what that means is it has ingredients that penetrate the skin, that lock water into the skin, ingredients that attract water from the outside into the skin, ingredients that go on the surface to repair the barrier function, and then ingredients that go on the top to prevent you losing water. It essentially does everything that a moisturiser should do. It's brilliant value for money, doesn't cost anything. This is pretty much your gold standard if you want a moisturiser that simply does what it says on the tin. Move that to one side. I can't talk about that range enough. Just recently, some things have been launched though that make me think that moisturisers, maybe after serums have upped their games, moisturisers are finally beginning to up their game too. Now let's start with Your Good Skin. Your Good Skin already has a product called Balancing Skin Concentrate. This is the supersized version. There used to be a 30 ml and this is a 60 ml, so it's twice the size. I've got the price here somewhere. This is now $24.50, so it's basically a super size of the classic Balancing Skin Concentrate, and it's a really lovely product. It's loaded with green tea, glycerin, vitamin C, Centella asiatica. Now, do you remember when L'Oreal were talking about Centella asiatica last year? It's an Asian plant that is an anti-inflammatory. There was talk of tigers rolling in Centella asiatica after fighting, and it got lost because the ad got edited down to 60 seconds and suddenly you were talking about, people were thinking tiger balm. Anyway, Centella asiatica is basically an anti-inflammatory plant extract. That's a really lovely product. I really like it. You see, this is how I like my modern moisturiser to be. Soft touch packaging and a pump. See what I mean? How it's not really a moisturiser or a serum, it's a hybrid. This is a really lovely product. You know, I often talk about Indeed Hydration Booster, which is a little bit more of a serum, but this is something that goes on super light, hydrates, gives you all the comfort you need, non-occlusive, non-comedogenic, very lightly scented, but I mean really lightly scented. Anyway, that's now been supersized, but it's been joined by something that I'm very interested in. And this is Your Good Skin CICA Repair Sleep Paste. It's not a paste. You could use it morning and night. You don't need to sleep in it. But the idea is that it comes with a little plastic spatula that you use to apply. Why you can't use your fingers, I don't know. But you know, makes for good Instagram, makes for good marketing story. But you know, so it's essentially, you can tell I've never used this. I've used the product and not used this. So this is a flexible little spatula, which you... This is very interesting though. So this is falling firmly in the CICA Repair from La Roche Posay, which I love. So this is a product you would fly with. You would use for dry knuckles, dry heels. You put this on dry lips. You could use this on dehydrated skin. tight skin, when you get that retinol reaction, when you get a dehydration from something like overusing vitamin C, this is your high street Boots equivalent of La Roche Posay CICA Plast Repair B5 Boom. It is green tea, vitamin C, Centella Asiatica, again glycerin. It has some petroleum in it, but do you know what? I mean, when it says a paste, how thick do you think it's going to be? You think, oh my god, this is going to be so thick, right? Look at this. It's really not that thick. It feels just like CICA Plast. In fact, it's less than CICA Plast Repair Balm. You're supposed to put it on a thick layer, wait for it to absorb, then massage the rest in. It's just a moisturiser. And it's a nice one. I like it. It's £12. That would sit nicely into anybody's flight, holiday, skincare kit. You could put it on little grazed knees, elbows, hands, put that in your top drawer at work. It's a nice product. It's another one of those, your good skin hits the ball out of the park. You can tell a dermatologist has helped try to formulate that. Let's go lighter though. Heavier in price though. Dermalogica have just launched a product which I really like. It's called Intensive Moisture Balance. This has got loads of aloe vera in it, hyaluronic acid, Centella Asiatica. You see? I think this is really interesting. L'Oreal obviously did all the kind of, let's jump over Centella Asiatica a year before anybody else, but now everybody's launching it. Again, it's got a calming Centella Asiatica, anti-inflammatory action in it, and it's got chlorella algae in it. This is $42.50. It's a lot for a moisturiser, but if you're already invested in Dermalogica, you, for example, like their retinols or their acids, it's a nice one to use to soothe your skin, and it's a good size. It is, gosh, my eyesight is terrible. It's 100 ml, so you can fly with it, and it's a really nice, you see, this is what I call a gel cream formula. I do like that gel cream formula. I tell you what it's like. It's a little bit like Sam Bunting's Flawless Moisturiser, which is £25, which I don't have with me because I've given it to somebody. In fact, they stole it from me. But that's another one as well. You see, when a dermatologist launches a moisturiser, what they're looking for is they're looking for all the hydration and none of the occlusion. And Flawless Moisturiser is exactly that. And what they are is they're a new generation of gel creams. And they're super light. They all would work beautifully, not the paste, they would all work beautifully under foundation because they leave the skin hydrated but never greasy. It's a nice product. It's quite expensive. Just recently, obviously, La Roche Posay have launched Toleriane Sensitive. They've got fluid, overnight, and they're a really nice range of, they call them sort of sensitive fluid moisturisers, creams. They're all really lightweight, super hydrating, super calming. They've got anti-inflammatory ingredients and hydrating ingredients, and I really like them. And I'm going to mention one that's actually the most expensive one, and this is a bit of a hot property in London at the moment. This is Spectacle. And Spectacle is everything that a new generation moisturiser would be. For a start, I'm not really sure it's a moisturiser. It comes in, actually, to be honest, it comes in the Inky List componentry, but the money hasn't gone into the packaging, it's gone into the ingredients. So do you recognise that pump? This comes out as a cream, but it's that gel cream, and it goes in absolutely beautiful. Now this is $99, so it's selling in the UK at £85, but it's a bit of a cult one. I don't think anybody's mentioned it so far. I'll put a stockist down below. Now, if you've got a bit more money, this is sort of the daddy of moisturisers or gel cream moisturisers. It's light. I would wear it at night. I would also wear it during the day if I have more dry skin types, but my skin is fairly well balanced. It's unscented. Now this is the thing, okay? It's a moisturiser, but it's a moisturiser with higher levels of actives in it. It has glycerin and safflower oil. They're the two main hydrating ingredients. It has 3 peptides, retinaldehyde, even though you can use it during the day, coenzyme Q10, hyaluronic acid, niacinamide, ceramides, and squalene. And a whole host of other actives as well, but they're the ones in the top, heavy-ended, loaded. So what you've got here is you've got, dare I use the term anti-aging, but you've basically got a moisturiser that is all things to all people. could be used at, now at this point I have no idea how much retinaldehyde it's got in it. There's no percentages on it. There's no percentages on, you know, levels like the peptides or the niacinamide or anything like that. Flawless moisturiser, by the way, for example, has 5% niacinamide in it, which is a hugely calming, soothing skin barrier repair ingredient. So it's a good one to look for. It goes in so easily, that. So we're not talking about actives here. We're talking about a sort of, this falls slightly more into that sort of miracle in a bottle claim. But I've been using it for 3 or 4 days now and I really like it. I've had zero irritation. I presume the retinaldehyde is at a low percentage. And because it can be used morning and night. However, I'm really liking it. Do you know what? It's so funny. I've always said no to tubs of cream. However, these new generation gel cream hybrids are really lovely. You probably won't use them so much during the warmer months, but during fluxes in the season, I mean, you know, we're supposed to be going into spring here now and the weather's still cold and miserable. When you're flying, when you're stressed, as a 2 or 3 nights a week hydrating, calming, soothing solution to maybe too much peels, maybe too much retinol, maybe too much vitamin C. They are really lovely. Shh, I might be falling back in love with moisturisers. Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing. I'll put all the details down below. However, nothing will get me off my serums, and the next part of this will be all the hydrating serums that I've just discovered.